Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode of Food Exposed. By popular request today we are looking at the almond milk, and in fact rather than exposing the truth we're just going to talk a little bit about the industry, how it's made, and hopefully this will help you to make a better educated decision when choosing your milk. So first of all, it is important to point out that by current regulations, the companies who produce any alternative milks are not actually allowed to use the word milk, because technically the word milk is reserved for the animal produced milk. So you probably noticed amongst the many brands available on the shelves that the word milk is actually replaced with either misspelled word of milk, or they're just putting a creamy nuttiness, that kind of nuttiness. They're not actually using the word milk. But we all know if you're shopping for an alternative, you kind of get an idea this is exactly what it is. Unfortunately, there is no legal requirement to how much of the percentage of your almonds to go in your milk to call it milk or the almond drink. I slightly disagree because, to be fair, the average of the supermarket brands have anything between 1% and 5.5% of almonds. So if we take a 2% in the middle, which is the majority of the supermarket brands are, the only equivalent is turn up to be 10 to 15 almonds per litre. Yet the true almond milk, if you're to make it yourself, you'll require 100 to 150 grams of almonds to make your milk. So that indicates to us, guys, that unfortunately the short-bought brands of milk only have a very small percentage of the almonds, and then they're diluted with water. And then, of course, you have some preservatives, stabilizers, some gums, sweetness, and obviously added vitamins. So if you look at it from this point of view, that doesn't look that good. Many people do say they are a healthier version, but the only healthier version is if you're just looking at the calories alone. Because yes, 1 cup of the almond milk is approximately 30 calories, yet comparing it to the full-fat cow's milk, which has approximately 130, and if you look at the skim version, we're looking about the 80. So yes, absolutely, if you're on a calorie control diet and do want to have some substitute, then yes, 30 calories per glass, it's very good. But it is very important to understand, and when you do also buy or make your choice of buying the milk, that all these additional additives are actually not that good. And to be fair, by comparing quite a few of the brands on the market, there's quite a vast difference. It's what's actually and how much of things, the unnecessary things, are added to your milk. So it's very important to check your label. So now for the comparison, let's actually compare the full-fat cow's milk to the average almond milk and see which one's actually better. So now I've got the details in front of me. So we're going to look at the protein content. So cow's milk provides 8 grams of protein per cup, whilst the almond milk only provides 1 gram per cup. So it's quite a big difference in the protein, and we know our bodies do need protein. So now looking at fats, the almond milk is lower in saturated fat compared to the cow's milk. So it contains more unsaturated fats, which are considered beneficial for health. So this is a benefit for that. So calcium. So cow's milk naturally contains about 300 milligrams of calcium per cup. Yet comparing this to the almond milk, okay, some of them actually in excess of 482 milligrams per cup. This is added on by the manufacturer to substitute the lack of calcium. However, the body might not absorb as much of it because this is not how much we need, and it might not be as easily absorbed as the one from the cow's milk. So now talking about the vitamins and minerals. So cow's milk, natural source of various vitamins and minerals, including the vitamin B12. Almond milk is often fortified with vitamin D and E, as well as other nutrients to make it more nutritionally dense. But not necessarily means that our bodies are able to digest that easily. So I've got in front of me a brand from the supermarket, okay? And let's have a look at the ingredients here. So it's got water as a first ingredient, and then you've got the almonds, 2.3%, which is rather little. You've got the calcium, you have sea salt, you've got stabilizers, you've got the guar gum and the gelm gum, natural flavorings, emulsifiers, vitamins B12, D2, E, and a potassium iodide. Okay, what I don't like about this specific one is because it's got the gums in there, and this is something we tried to avoid. There's quite a big selection of gums out there, and unfortunately we want to try to avoid as many of them as possible. They use pretty much as like emulsifier, try to make things a bit creamy and that kind of thing, but they are a-okay for our bodies, but in the excessive consumption they're not particularly that great. And to be fair, like I always suggest with any additives, trying to look out for milks that don't have any. So just to sum this up, guys, I totally understand if you're lactose intolerant, then obviously those kind of milks are potentially a good option. But of course, Apart from the almond milk, there are other milks there on the market which are a little bit more nutritionally dense. But again, we can cover this in a different video. But as it stands at the moment, I get it, okay? If you need to have milk, or if you want to have milk and you can't have lactose, then those guys are good to go. But my point to you, as usual, okay, before you make your choice of buying any almond milk, have a look on the label, because those kind of milks are rather expensive. Some brands are charging like £3.75 per litre. This is quite a lot. But the price doesn't always dictate what's actually inside. So as always, I say this one more time, guys, check your labels. Make sure you pick your almond milk with a higher almond content. Make sure you're trying to avoid any sugary ones, okay, because they have a lot more sweetness and additives. And make sure you're trying to find some that don't have those gums, because there are milks on the market, the almond milks, that do have far less ingredients. Yes, they might not have such a long shelf life, but they'll be far better for you. So there we are, guys. I do hope you have found this video helpful or enjoyed this, or find this entertaining, whatever it is that you're watching this for. Please don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe if not a subscriber, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.